Bonjour mes amis, et bienvenue au Pendu dans le Cercle de Lune. Hello friends, if this is your first time here, welcome. Thank you for coming. I'm pleased to meet you. If you've been here before, thank you for returning. I'm truly honored. Friends, if you are a returning visitor, you surely know that from that attempt at a French introduction that this is my series in which I use Terre de Marseille adjacent, and antique Italian decks to help me explore a topic that I pull from my larger weekly reading. And for the last 2+ lunar cycles, I've been doing a reading based on the Tree of Life, and it's big, it's chunky, it's got a lot of moving parts, and it takes me 2 videos to read one spread. And so, for that period of time, what I've used this segment to do is to pull a concise message from that larger spread. And so, for the last 2 lunar cycles plus, I've been asking the same question. What is the central message of this week's Tree of Life spread? Now, if you haven't seen if you haven't seen this week's reading, I highly recommend that you go and watch that and then come back and watch this. So I'll put a card up here for you to hop on over and watch that, so you get the context from which this shorter reading is coming from. Now, it's better to read the book than the Cliff Notes. This isn't even the Cliff Notes. This is the very, very end of the Cliff Notes of that spread. So, what was the spread? Just in case you have seen that spread. We started off at the top with a very hopeful card. For the last few weeks, we've had a series of stay where you are, don't go out, keep in shelter, meditate, clear up your space. And this week we started up in Kether with a very positive card, the Three of Wands, telling us that we have some success available to us. But then the rest of the spread seemed to be balancing between yes, success, but be careful. Yes, success, but be careful. And it was telling us that we wanted to be careful to not get distracted by success, that there are still some monsters lurking under the surface that might rear their heads when we're distracted by happy stuff. And I called that this week's video series, 2-part video, cleaning up as we go, because I think that's what the general message of this larger spread for the week was about. So, friends, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the question, just so you get a quick reminder of that, and then I'll show you the cards that I pulled from a very distantly adjacent Terre de Marseille deck. It's not Terre de Marseille, it's very, very adjacent, but one of my favorites. So we'll look at the question, we'll look at the cards, and then we'll start reading. Here we go. What do you think of that deck? Do you like it? I love it. I love it. This is called the Trionfi della Luna Paradoxical Rose Edition. This edition is very out of print, but it's produced by the brilliant Patrick Valenza and his company, Deviant Moon. And there's the standard edition, and there are some paradoxical editions which look like color photo negatives. They're not color photo negatives, but that's the feel that I get from them. So this was the Paradoxical Rose Edition. What I will do is I'll put a link to Patrick Valenza's site down there in the description so that you can hop over and take a look at his decks. And there will be one of the Trionfi della Luna available, I'm sure, either the standard edition and probably one of the paradoxical editions will probably still be available. I think the rose is absolutely gone. It might be in reprint, I don't know, but you can check it out for yourself. Love this deck. And you saw, we got a really simple and what I thought of as a very clear and quick reading. We read from left to right. We had the Ace of Discs, which seemed so appropriate. When that first card came out, I thought, yes, this is all about this week's spread, very clearly. And then we got the Queen of Cups. And then we got the Wheel of Fortune, right? So Very interesting. Very interesting in several ways, yeah? The disc in the Ace of Coins echoes to me the Wheel of Fortune, the disc in the Wheel of Fortune. Does that make sense? That these two cards, yeah, they're different, and the Wheel of Fortune is not a coin, but still, there's that echo of shape and form, and even when you think, look at this stuff at the top and this stuff at the bottom, there are things around this disc as well, yeah? So there are echoes all the way through this. The coin and the top of the cup for the Queen of Cups, I see echoes running through all three cards, and I saw no reason to pull a fourth card for this spread. This seemed like a really clear, like I said, concise message. And we start off with the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Coins. Because, well, there are two reasons. One, the sole really human figure. Are you going to call these figures human? To me, she's a human representing figure. Yeah, the Queen of Cups is facing to the right. The figures on the wheel are either front-facing or they balance each other out. One is kind of facing to the left, one is facing to the right. So the predominant gaze for me is from left to right. That's the way I want to read it. And it also makes sense because we start off with an opportunity card, which echoes that Success Three of Wands card from this week's larger spread. So here it is, the Ace of Coins, beautifully drawn card. Beautifully drawn image of a coin with a figure, the face of a figure on it, and floral decorations all around. Lovely. The colors, the color palette in the rose edition is fabulous. The color palette in the blue edition is fabulous. The purple edition, there are a lot of paradoxical editions. I've also got the Spectrum edition that I might pull out next week or the week after that. Well, this is a great card. And what are some significances for the Ace of Coins? Now, this is a beginning. This is Kether, if you want to associate it with the Tree of Life. This is that energy that we're not yet able to perceive, but is on the brink of being interested in coming into manifestation. Yeah? The human mind cannot conceive of what is contained in Kether. It's beyond our scope of reason and ability to think. But there is potential content there. And the potential content, the aces, that contains everything that will manifest, but is still not there yet, right? What do we have here? We have opportunities, but opportunities that must be cultivated. Yeah? These aren't, you don't take the seed out of the packet and look at it and say, well, there's a tree, right? The seed needs to be planted and cultivated for it to become what it wants to become, what its potential is promising. So, opportunity to be cultivated, potential prosperity, new ventures, new opportunities, new stuff to do, right? Potential rewards. The stuff that we do also has the potential for our benefit in many different ways. Now, there's another line of thought around the Ace of Coins, which is mental energy in the body. The coins are also physical suit, right? It's the suit of health as well as work. And so, yeah, the mind in the body. It's the beginnings of something happening physically. And so mental energy in the body could be this. Could be practical perspectives as well. Yeah? Utilitarian approaches to what we're doing. The work we want to do. We want to take a utilitarian, a practical approach to it. There are relationships with this card to incarnation, family life, home life, health, money. All of those things are potential. And it directs our attention to concrete aspects of our life. But I think really from this week's spread, the strongest echo is here with opportunity that wants to be cultivated, that wants our attention, and potential rewards, potential success, if we treat it practically, if we use a utilitarian approach, if we take a utilitarian approach to what we're doing. And so this opportunity feeds the Queen of Cups. And she is just a magnificent creature, I think. She's got a gorgeous dress on, made of, I don't know what, made of water perhaps. Yeah, at least the skirt of her dress looks like it's made out of water. She's holding this huge cup. And we see energy or droplets of sunlight pouring down upon her. Which is good because droplets of sunlight is water, right? But water, liquid sun. Yeah, and she's got two faces here, which I think is significant for this week's reading from the Tree of Life spread. The Queen, we see her gathering sunlight, right? The cup is huge and looks a little bit cumbersome, doesn't it? And because of that, or perhaps because of her own character, she seems to be clutching that cup really tightly. She's holding on to what she's receiving, and she's receiving that sunlight, and she's holding on with all her might. Perhaps because the container is so large, but perhaps because she has a sense of greedy entitlement to what she's receiving. Now, that's why I'm saying that there's a light and dark aspect to this Queen of Cups that's really strongly emphasized in this card. Some of the lighter side of the Queen of Cups is compassion, calm. Yeah, the Queen has a rich inner world, but it's a little bit hidden. Often the Queen of Cups' cup is covered, not covered in this card, but often Queen of Cups' the Queen's cup is covered, right? Because she guards her inner life. She guards her emotional state. She's interested in her own privacy, her own boundaries, her assets, emotional and otherwise. She's attentive to her emotions as well. And you can see that a little bit here, that she's attentive to that liquid energy flowing from the sun. She's very attentive to it. And she's determined to defend her feelings. She knows that her feelings have validity. And we should also know that as well. And she can also open her heart. She can open her heart to give. But her trust must be earned. She doesn't open her heart to just any schmo on the street. Yeah? She's interested in love of family, in kindness. She's interested in motherhood. She's a mirror of the Divine Mother, perhaps. That divine feminine, the feminine divine Sophia could be represented by the Queen of Cups as well, moving into manifestation. So, the Queen of Cups has taken this opportunity and is moving forward and is gathering that liquid sunlight of compassion, in calm, in comfort, giving attention to her rich inner world. And if she remains open, she's good. Not good like good and evil, but she's good. She will continue to move in the direction of that opportunity from the Ace of Coins has allowed her to begin movement in. But there's potential for some of her dark traits to appear. Her guardedness, her clutching of her emotions, her protecting herself, her I've got something good and nobody's going to take it from me. Right? And that was one of the potential pitfalls that were pointed out in this week's larger spread. And so she's watching, and she's moving in the direction of holding her cup. She's moving in the direction of the Wheel of Fortune. We see a very typical, yes, it is a typical Wheel of Fortune image, but drawn differently. Yeah, the creatures are different, but we got the somewhat Sphinx-ish character up at the top. We've got one character dropping down. We've got another character coming up. We don't see the crank to the wheel. Instead, we have the eye. Now, two things that I noticed very quickly when I saw this card come out and land on the table was that the character moving up, do you see what that character is holding? Holding the cup, right? The character moving down in their hind leg is holding a coin. Both of the receptive suits in the Cercle de Marseille in tarot, right? The one ascending is holding the cup. The one descending is carrying down the coin. So we've got two possibilities here, I think. This coin right now is up, but if we clutch too hard to the coin, I think we're going to be moving down. However, if we hold our cup open in front of us, we'll be moving up, right? So what is the Wheel of Fortune? It's cycles, of course. The cycle of the year, cycles of our lives. Things improve and then we lose things and we gain things, right? There are other cycles that some otherly gendered people have as well. That could be indicated here. Chance, luck is possible here. Change of fortune, hopefully for the better. Change. This card is a lot about change and cycles, right? New departures are possible, which would be a good echo of this Ace of Coins card. Yeah, the new departure, like that coin here echoed in the wheel. It could even be the end of a cycle, an end of perhaps a dark cycle, giving us the opportunity to move forward with success. There could be financial gain as well. Also, remember this card, right? The Ace of Coins. A rise and after a fall could be here. Also, a fall after a rise is possible. So this card is also not telling us, hey, don't worry about it. All is good. We still want to pay attention. Just like this eye here in the center of the wheel. If we move to the center, we'll be the most stable. If we hold our cup of emotion high and we're open, we will rise. If we clutch our opportunity to us, we could fall. But there's a sense of a new departure, something new. We're moving into something new, right? And so that's what this reading basically is telling us, right? We're moving from this opportunity, and we have an emotional card. We have this emotional card of compassion and comfort, rich inner world, and we have the potential of reacting to that, of gathering that the droplets of sun that we are newly experiencing, and we can have a couple of different reactions. We can clutch it and the mine, all mine, my precious, right? Or we can keep it open there and keep our emotional cup open for offering the bounty that we have to others in compassion, in offering comfort, in being the monarch, not the monarch of control, but the monarch of beneficence. And she moves in the direction of continued new opportunity and new departures and improved fortune if we keep our attention. If we don't start clutching what we've received and we hold our cup open and we pay attention. We can rise after our previous fall. If we close our eyes, we can fall from our recent rise. Does that make sense? It really makes sense. And if you've seen this week's larger video, you'll see, yes, that was the central message of this week's spread. Success, but be careful. Good things are coming, but be careful. Right? So friends, I'd love to hear what you think. What do you think of this deck? Do you have this deck? Let me know in the comments below. Do you want this deck? Let me know in the comments below. Also, remember, the Deviant Moon link will be there for Patrick Valenza's beautiful work. And if you want a reading from me, my email address is below. Send me an email to thehangedmaninthemoon@gmail.com and we'll get you a reading, whatever kind of reading you want. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Hit that thumbs up button so that you get notifications of when I upload videos. I'll be uploading, I hope, a fourth video next week because I'm going to be switching out my decks because of the new moon is, I think, today. And I'm also going to switch out spreads for this next lunar cycle. I've got a new spread that I've developed, and so I'll probably do a walkthrough of that spread as well next week. So hit that alarm bell. And yes, comment below. I would really love to hear from you. And friends, what do you think? Does this make sense? I hope so. And now, as always, I wish you love, joy, well-being, and pure awareness. Thank you.